Welcome to your weekly astrology forecast for February 5th through 11th. Guys, I did a video a couple of actually months ago now called Conjunction Junction, and I have to say I think that this fits. I need to reuse that title because this week is a week of conjunctions. I mean, there's a major conjunction in 4 zodiac signs. There's the conjunction of Pluto and Mercury in Capricorn, and even when Mercury on the I think it's on the 11th, on Friday or Saturday, goes into Aquarius, and we'll talk about that. It's still conjunct with Pluto, and then we have Saturn and the Sun are conjunct in Aquarius, and then we have Neptune and Venus conjunct in Pisces, and then we also have Jupiter and Chiron conjuncting in Aries. And then a little bit later on in the week, when the moon finally reaches Scorpio, we have the moon and the south node conjunct in Scorpio, and that is going to be square to Mercury moving into Aquarius, which is really interesting energy because it implies, at least globally, that there could be some secretive information that's challenging or becomes a challenge to social media, social networking, some sort of online stuff. So let's watch that really closely. But ultimately, all these conjunctions, to me, aren't the greatest thing to happen in a week because there's so much energy that becomes clumped and not necessarily compatibly clumped. So Neptune and Venus are the two that come closest to being really exceptionally compatible because they are dreamy and romantic, but they're so compatible that they could become very lethargic and lazy and too dreamy and too disconnected from reality. So this could make us spend too much money or throw money away on dreams or suppositions or get distracted so we're not spending correctly or we're not really thinking correctly when it comes to who we choose to be in relationships with. So all conjunctions, and I've discussed this with you guys before, are neither good nor bad. They're just powerful, and it really depends on how you're going to use the energy. Well, Venus-Neptune, I think, is best used to really expand or grow in relationships or connections with things that you already trust, what you already have established, you already have some sort of really grounded footing with, because this could really sweep you off your feet, and it's not the best time for committing yourself in any way to something brand new, especially, like I said, with your checkbook, or even in some ways with romance, even though it is a very romantic and dreamy energy. Saturn and the Sun conjuncting, not the best conjunction. I mean, the Sun is about growth, it's about possibility, it's about courage, and Saturn is about restriction and just say no to everything and take its time and has it earned it. And so, though these two energies combined can be very powerful, very strong, help us get personal growth and authority over ourselves, maturity, they're not the most connected to each other. And so there's dissonance there. And then we have Mercury and Pluto. And Pluto is just too thick and big for Mercury. It's almost like hitting too close to home. It's like Mercury's so little and Pluto's clearly technically a little smaller than Mercury, but the energy, it's almost like talking too much, saying too much, discovering too much. It's too easy to take Mercury to the extreme when it's under the influence of Pluto. So I don't think this is the greatest energy either. With Mercury conjunct Pluto, you could dig way too deep. You could be going down rabbit holes. This could be like legitimately through the looking glass, so they're not the best energies conjuncting. And Jupiter conjunct Chiron could be very troublesome. It could cause a lot of pain. It could cause a lot of injury. It could cause a lot of suffering. Because Jupiter expands whatever it conjuncts. And Chiron is about healing, yes, but it's healing through learning because you've suffered. Like, what have you learned from what you've suffered? Growing from what you've suffered. And like I said, conjunctions are neither good nor bad, but it's like that's really difficult energy to harness and make productive. So it is an overall very challenging week for us. The easiest, smoothest thing that happens is that on Saturday, which is the 11th, February 11th, Mercury goes into Aquarius. Mercury transits into Aquarius. And so that's really about social communications. That's usually about widespread, like social thoughts or beliefs or intelligence, like social intelligence. It could be about public speaking or what you say, what you say is heard. I mean, this could be a big breakthrough on social media for you. But like I said, that those first couple of days where it's squared to the moon in Scorpio, conjunct the South Node, there could be some shitty shit that comes out, or at least stuff that comes out that's very challenging. And it will, at the very least, challenge your patience. And it could, at the worst, completely destroy things, since Mercury is still conjunct Pluto. So when it comes to next week, I would say that it's deceptively difficult energy, because it seems like it's kind of mundane and it's not going to be much, but it's almost like kind of like pebbles in your shoe. It's never going to be as comfortable as you want it to be this week. And it's almost like, what was the comparison I had made? Oh my God, it was actually perfect. It was like, what was I going to say? It's like going to a dinner that you have to go to instead of one that you want to go to. It's not like it's a bad thing. It's not like it's the worst thing that could happen to you, but it's always going to be uncomfortable. And even though you're and you have nice things and there's good stuff around you, you're never quite comfortable in the situation that you're in. So I really haven't even gotten into who this could be problematic for. Chiron conjunct Jupiter is in direct opposition to those people who were born kind of mid Libra. That's going to be that's going to be in opposition to your natal sun, and it's going to be that way for a while. So that's really begging you or challenging you with, have you grown? Do you understand how to grow? Have you taken what you understand and what you've been through, and has it moved you? Has it changed you? Or how is it going to make you super uncomfortable so that you have to change? For those of you who are born in the last degrees of Cancer, Mercury conjunct Pluto is in direct opposition to your natal sun. So this could be groundbreaking, ground-changing information, or an obsessiveness that you can't let go, and that, at the very least, you're worried about everything ending, and at the very worst, you're discovering things, or things are coming out that really could cause trouble for you. For those of you who are born not at the very end of Aquarius, but kind of mid to end Leo, Saturn, the sun conjunct Saturn is in direct opposition to your natal sun. So there's this authority figure that's going to get on your nerves, that's going to restrict your growth, that's going to constantly challenge you, and not in ways that really will teach you or feel like it's teaching you. It's just going to irritate you and piss you off, or it could be that people are questioning your authority all the time. So there's a lot of oppositions going around out there. And then for those of you in Virgo, not like, I would say mid to late Virgo, more later Virgo, because Venus conjunct Neptune is happening, I think, about 23 degrees I think about 20 to 23 degrees Pisces. So it's sort of mid to late Virgos. Your natal sun is going to be in opposition to that conjunction. So there's a lot of oppositions that are going on. And then on the other hand, anybody who's born around that time in Pisces, that conjunction between Venus and Neptune is conjunct your natal sun. So you're going to be washed away in romanticism that may distract you or lead you astray because it's so powerful. And for those of you who are born kind of central Aries, that's conjunct Jupiter. Chiron conjunct Jupiter is conjunct your natal sun. So there's a lot of insistence that you're going to have to deal with issues that it could grow bigger. It could get bigger. Right? It could get bigger, so it overpowers you and causes you a lot of suffering until you figure out what to do with it, but it could almost get to be too much. And then for those of you who are born, who are Capricorns and who are born at the end of Capricorn, Pluto conjunct Mercury is conjunct your natal sun. So there's definitely some, I think, communications breaking down or needing to inquire almost obsessively and go deep and dig deep. Maybe even people doing it to you, which is never good. And then, we have, and I don't want to leave anybody out. And then we have people in Scorpio who around February 11th, when the moon conjuncts the South Node, that's going to be conjunct your natal sun. Let me see what degrees. I think that's about 12 degrees Scorpio. So that's going to be all about sort of your comfort zone, testing your comfort zone. Have you gotten lost or led astray or distracted by your comfort zone? Have you become too comfortable, to the point where you've kind of also got distracted? There's a lot of... So there's either oppositions that are happening or there are conjunctions that are overpowering, and it's just not going to be the best week for anyone, though what it could do is help us build sympathy for each other. That's the one thing that it could do that I think could actually help to bring us together, where we could at the very least recognize discomfort in somebody else's face. And if it's not discomfort if it's not us really understanding why they're uncomfortable, it's us at least being able to be empathetic enough to understand that they are uncomfortable and that, hey, we're all in this kind of crazy week together. So it could help us out that way, but it's going to be like the pebble in people's shoe. It's going to be like the invitation to that party you have to go to, not the party you want to go to. It's going to be that week of, it's not bad. I got to say, it's not bad, but it's going to be challenging. And for some, it could get pretty darn bad. I would love to hear your comments below. If you're any one of the zodiac signs that I mentioned, I would love to know what's going on with you and how things are impacting you. See what you're noticing in your life. Remember, it won't be all the zodiac sign. It'll just be those aspects of those parts of the zodiac sign that, are in opposition to these conjunctions or are in conjunction with those conjunctions that are going to experience, I think, the most profound effects. But that's almost all the zodiac. All the conjunctions are happening on one side, and then on the other side is where all the oppositions are happening. So it's almost like fate versus free will, in a sense of, are we in sync? We're not really in sync. Are we with where our life is on track? I just think that by the end of this week, we're hopefully, maybe not the end of this week because we'll need a little bit more time, but hopefully by the end of February, we'll be able to kind of get more perspective and understand a little bit better what this week was challenging us with and why it was challenging us in the way that it did. Please leave your comments below. I would love to know how this is impacting you. I'm already feeling extremely drained, and I'm wondering why it's happening. But let's get into this. I just wrote it down. I just want to go over. Yeah, social media, marketing, or networking when Mercury goes into Aquarius, but it's still conjunct Pluto. So and it's square to the moon in Scorpio, which is things hidden. It's almost like in some ways you may have to give up information that you don't want to give or expose something that you don't want to expose in order to get forward or get people's attention. People doing kind of desperate things or extreme things to have people take notice of them. But I mean, that kind of describes social media in general. But this would be a little above and beyond. So you may have to reveal something very personal, right, to make everything work out. And that will not be comfortable. That's February 11th. And then Mercury, for like a week and a half, is going to be square both nodes. So that's its check-in, right? Mercury, especially Gemini, Virgo. This is your ruling dignitary now square the nodes. How far along have you come? How far have you developed your skills? Happy birthday, Doug Denny. Are your skills developed enough? Have you expanded? Have you grown? Have you challenged yourself? And this is that discomfort. How are you uncomfortable because you stayed comfortable for too long? And that's what this week is really going to ask us. Why are you uncomfortable now? Because you remain comfortable for too long. And if you'd just gotten out of your comfort zone a little bit at a time, you'd be in a much better place right now. But now it feels like everything's coming at you. And that's true. That's what will happen this week. And if in some way you haven't exposed yourself to enough discomfort to encourage your own personal growth. So, like I said, I'm really curious. This week is going to be kind of interesting. I know this is another perspective of, I don't usually film this way, but I needed to. This is how it came out. I love you guys so much. I hope to see you in the Zodiac readings over on Born Without Boundaries Tarot. I hope to see you on the daily tarot card readings over here. And remember, in order to participate in the live chat, you have to be subscribed. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so that you can participate in the live chat and that you know when I go live so that you can log on with us too. If you're looking for personal readings, I do personal readings, and I have 2 stores all set up now. If you want some merch, I would love to see you go purchase it. I have an Amazon KDP store, which is, the links are attached in both of my profiles. So you can see on my channel header, you can click right on the Amazon logo and get right to it. I've created some annual journals for each zodiac sign, which I would love for you guys to explore and enjoy. I've created a manifestation journal. I've even created a puzzle book for kids. So you might want to check that out and to really encourage your personal growth, to really encourage your personal strength, or maybe just enjoy journal because I love, like I'm doing it right now. I write everything down in my journals, everything, schedules, numbers, dates, sketches, everything. So, check that out. And definitely, if you are interested in a personal reading, go to my website, www.bornwithoutboundariestarot.com, and you can schedule and book everything there. There has been somebody going around with a fake account that I've reported, but YouTube doesn't seem to nip it in the butt fast enough. But it's a fake account. But they're reaching out to people that leave comments under my videos, trying to get them to come over to whatever number they're giving, and they're fake. It's totally fake. Just so that you guys know, if there is not a highlighted gray, if it's not highlighted in gray or black around Born Without Boundaries Tarot, then that's not me. Any reply I give you will be highlighted in gray or black. It'll be gray or white words, white type on gray or black. If it's just normal black type responding and replying, it doesn't matter. They've stolen my photo, they've stolen my picture, and they've stolen my name. So please don't respond, and please report them if you can. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the videos. Bye, guys.